So once again, Tucker Carlson has caused a bit of a stir. Tucker Carlson is being slammed by military leaders and Twitter activists online after saying that pregnant women should not be fighting in wars or flying airplanes. Because, you know, sending a pregnant woman into combat is probably a bad idea.
Oh, I say, can I get a honk honk?
Good progress designing body armor that fits women properly, tailoring combat uniforms for women, creating maternity flight suits.
What? What the fuck?
Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we're living in clown world. You see, here in this NBC News article, they say the following: Tucker Carlson slammed by military leaders for mocking pregnant service members. The Fox News host said, maternity flight suits were a sign of an out-of-control and feminine U.S. military while also making a transphobic joke. Oh my goodness. Tucker, you madman. Except this is not what he said, and this is not true. Tucker Carlson was not mocking pregnant service members. He was saying that the Biden administration is making a joke of the military by getting rid of standards and sending pregnant women into war. Let me remind you, he criticized maternity flight suits. In other words, pregnant suits for female pilots. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. But if you ask me, going from 0 to 1 Gs, probably more, is probably not good for a pregnant woman or a baby.
How dare you, you bigot!
What the heck is the Biden administration planning to do with pregnant women in maternity flight suits? Look at the picture. Literally, this is the picture they use, folks. Should not be flying planes, much less going out into combat. Do you know how risky pregnancy actually is? The odds of miscarriage, the odds of an early birth caused by stress. There's a reason we have maternity leave in a modern society. I also believe there's problems with maternity leave. Who's gonna pay for it? Should men be taxed for it? If you ask me, it should come out of women's taxes since it's something that they are using. But this is why Tucker Carlson was slammed by the establishment and by the mainstream media. So much so that even military leaders have come out against Tucker Carlson. Command Senior Enlisted Leader of the United States Space Command, Scott H. Walker, had the following to say about Tucker Carlson.
And so he was talking specifically about pregnant women in the armed forces today and how it makes us less lethal and less fit and less ready. Let me tell you where he's wrong. Those decisions were made by medical professionals, by commanders, and our civilian leadership. To take that time that's necessary, that our medical professionals know is needed, which actually makes us a more lethal and ready and fit force, ready to fight the wars of today and the wars of tomorrow.
What's wrong with y'all? You are crazy!
So as you can see, we're living in absolute clown world. This is absolutely ludicrous, and no matter how you try to spin it with your patriotism and tough guy accent, we respect women in the military and Tucker Carlson is just reality TV, it's not real. No. Enough.
Stop it. Get some help.
What you're doing with the military is absolutely ridiculous. If you're just gonna let people have long hair, it could eventually get in the way of combat readiness. We already have problems regarding women in military service in regards to physical capabilities. I don't know if you've ever been on a military base before or an Air Force base, but I firsthand have seen the difference between male and female requirements. Men are required to be far more fit than women, do many more push-ups, many more pull-ups, and how do you think this affects people out in the field? In the front lines, for example. I can't tell you that I personally talked to military service members about this particular issue, but what I can tell you is that I've heard people talking about these issues. And normally what they say is something like this, like, women in the front lines can be a liability. I believe there have been some studies on this, where even one female in a male unit causes a breakdown of that unit. Because you have a problem of, well, first of all, you have a problem of men and women being the opposite gender. There are concerns about the woman's safety. There are concerns about the woman distracting the men, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty. I mean, use your imagination. The problem is, these concerns are very real, and the stuff I've heard from the left is absolutely ludicrous. Biden literally said, female flight suits. Why are we sending pregnant women into combat? Now, I want to show you this hilariously ridiculous article by the Military Times. Senior leaders dunk on Tucker Carlson misogynistic comments about maternity flight suits. Again, this is fake news. Tucker Carlson in his segment said nothing that was actually phobic, that was actually discriminatory. He said nothing wrong. He basically said the obvious.
So we've got new hairstyles and maternity flight suits. Pregnant women are going to fight our wars. It's a mockery of the U.S. military. While China's military becomes more masculine as it's assembled the world's largest navy, our military needs to become, as Joe Biden says, more feminine, whatever feminine means anymore, since men and women no longer exist.
You need a strong military, and the point of the military is to win wars. Not to be woke, not to virtue signal, and not to put women in these maternity military suits. Expectant mother and Air Force Captain Beatrice Home helps the Air Force test out a new flight suit prototype that will accommodate pregnancy. Folks, I can't even. The article goes on to say, Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson seized the moment on his Tuesday show to drop some hot takes about how catering to pregnant women is feminizing the military and allowing China to surpass the US in its dominance of national defense. He's kind of got a point. Tucker Carlson is valid in his criticism, and nothing he said was actually discriminatory or mean. It's very obvious common sense. We protect pregnant women. Pregnant women should be protected. They should not be in combat. They should not be in flight suits. They should not be flying. And it's very concerning because Tucker Carlson's main point is that the U.S. military is being weakened by progressive nonsense. Oh, we're gonna be woke. We're gonna make men and Marines wear high heels to teach them about being a woman. Yes, that literally happened. That's a real story. You can look it up. Oh, we're gonna let people have dreadlocks and messy hair now, and we're gonna allow all of these things that were never allowed before. We're gonna lower standards for certain people in favor of other people. I just don't see this ending well for the American military. Now, meanwhile, China is masculizing, I don't know what's the word for that, focusing on increasing masculinity for their army. They're trying to teach boys and men to be strong, to be fit, like you would want any military. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm perfectly happy to have women in the military, as long as they can do the same things that men can do. I don't want lower standards for women. I want women who are just as strong as men to serve. Or at least, at the very bare minimum, I think a woman should be fit and muscled and chiseled, have a six-pack, and be as strong as a woman can be. That, my friends, is real female empowerment. And it's also hot. But that, my friends, is pretty much the story. I don't even know what to say more about this, folks. The news is fake. The mainstream media is lame. Holy heck. I never thought I would have to defend Tucker Carlson for saying that pregnant women should not fight in war. Are you a feminist or not? A feminist would want to protect women, protect pregnant women. We shouldn't be making maternity flight suits. Maybe we should be providing maternity leave for pregnant women who are too pregnant to serve and need a break. No, obvious, that's crazy. We need to send pregnant women into the front lines with AK-47s, bombs exploding. That's feminist. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, the best way to support my work is to share these videos. Best thing you can do. We gotta beat that algorithm, folks. We gotta get the word out there. If you want to support the channel in more ways, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar. Joining does give you benefits. I'm gonna be working more on that. And have a great day, everyone. I don't know what to say. This is Clown World. Holy heck. I'll see you all next time.